Alright, I just realized that I've now had this car for about 15,000 miles and it hasn't even been 6 months yet. So this is my 2017 Mazda 6. If you haven't seen my other videos on the channel, I had a 2017 Civic before this, and so I decided to get this car instead. It's like way nicer than the Civic ever was. So I'll just kind of go through some of my ownership experiences, a few things I've done to the car, and then I'd like to make like a full actual review of it here later on, but it's just been so hot here lately I don't want to go outside and do it. So I'll just quickly go through some things on the vehicle that I've noticed over the last 15,000 miles. So first of all, I got this car certified pre-owned with 8,000 miles on it, and so it was like almost 10 grand cheaper than buying a new one. So it's Soul Red metallic, obviously, with the black leatherette interior. One of the first things I did was I added the fog lights. Obviously it helps you see a lot better, but in addition to that, I think it just looks so much better with the fog lights. Without, it just kind of looked like there was something missing. So I think that really improves the look of the front end here. I have the stock 19-inch alloys on it right now, also with the stock Dunlop all-season tires, and they're okay, nothing special, but I really like the wheel design, but once these tires wear out, I think I'll get something a little more high performance, just for some better steering feel, better grip in corners and whatnot. I did coat the wheels with a rim coating, coated them with G on rim, so it helps make them a lot easier to clean, kind of repels the brake dust a little bit more, so that's always nice. Also, the paint I got pretty much dialed in. Went through and compounded and polished most of the vehicle over the winter. There's a few areas that still need some refining, and I actually did not even do the roof, but for the most part it's pretty well dialed in, so that's looking great. And I just have it protected with Adam's paint sealant right now, and then I have a wax on top of that, and then on the front here to help repel the bugs and make them easier to clean off, I just spray it every once in a while with Adam's ceramic boost, just to give it just a little bit more slickness. Makes the bugs easier to wipe off when I'm washing it. So I'll come around to the side here, and I know some people keep telling me I need to tint the windows. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I'd like to, just to keep the heat out of it in the summer, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. And then in the back here, I did debadge it. I took off the Mazda 6 emblem and the Sky Active emblem, and I just think it looks a lot cleaner that way. I did add some bigger tips as well, just to look a little bit more aggressive. I put an in-gen cold air intake on the car also, so it sounds a little bit better now too, and slightly better throttle response, I've noticed. So like 3 days after buying this, actually 2 days after buying this car, I drove it to Texas, and where we went in Texas is about 12 hours from where I live here in Illinois, and this car was so awesome. In a lot of cars, after a few hours sitting in the seat, your butt starts to hurt, and that just wasn't the case with this car. And I didn't really feel fatigued until about halfway through the drive home. So we went there one day, came back the other day with a couple friends, so it was awesome. I actually met up with a fellow YouTuber, RCG Car Reviews, and hung out with him for a few hours. Other than that, I've taken a few other trips in the car, but that was the furthest one. I did also get a set of all-season mats, so I can switch them out here in the winter. I put the rubber ones in and take the carpet ones out, and then in the spring I'll put the carpet ones back in like I have now. I did also get a set of snow tires for the car. These stock Dunlops just suck so much in the snow and ice. So I got the General Ultimax Arctic 12 and just a set of steel wheels. So with those on it, the car does awesome in the snow. It really is incredible. The back seat legroom in this thing is awesome. So I don't really haul people around a whole lot, but when I do, it's nice to have that space. So I now have almost 23,500 miles on it. Show you a few things here on the interior. I still have the stock shift knob and everything, and I just think the interior of this car looks so good. But I did do a little bit of tweaking on the infotainment. So I added a speedometer just for no reason at all, really. But anyway, it has a digital speedometer, and then as you're speeding up, there's like a bar graph here on the side that kind of wraps around that will like go up incrementally depending on what your speed is. So that's kind of cool. Sometimes I've noticed randomly it just doesn't work at all, but whatever. And then I installed like a different icon pack, I guess you could say. It changes the icons a little bit here, and you can see the halo is different when you select one. So it just kind of looks a little bit different. And then there's like a different color scheme here along the bottom. Instead of that reddish orange, it's more of a deeper red. And some of the icons and stuff are a little bit different. So I just wanted to clean it up a little bit. I just didn't really like the look of the stock like icons and stuff here on the home screen. They look a little bit cheesy to me. So I think these look a lot better. Also now it's a touchscreen while you're driving. So from the factory, you can only use the touchscreen when the car is stopped. And also you can only read text messages when the car is stopped. It'll say it aloud, but it won't actually let you read it. So I changed that, so now it's a touchscreen all the time, and I can read the text messages while I'm driving. So not that that really is a huge deal, but sometimes if you're typing in like a address for navigation or whatever, it's a lot easier to just physically type it than go down here and scroll through all the different letters and whatnot. But I still use the control knob here most of the time just because it's like literally right there. So it's super easy to get to. But it's just nice to have the convenience of the touchscreen when you want it. Other than that, I'm just really enjoying this car. I think it's the best car I've owned. The Civic Si that I had was more fun to drive, but this thing is just better in just about every other way. It's more comfortable. It gets great gas mileage on the highway, and you know, it's still pretty fun to drive. The shifter is one of the best out of any vehicle I've had. The clutch is awesome. It actually has feel to it, unlike the Civic EX that I had. But other than that, I think that about wraps up this video. I may be doing a giveaway here on my Instagram account in the next few weeks or whatever. So if you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead and check it out. I'm going to give away some detailing products. So I'm going to think of what I want to give away, and I'll probably do that here in the next couple weeks.